It's loading. Okay, it's loading. I'll just start introducing myself once it's done. Okay.
Oh, it says that it's live on here.
Okay. Well, I don't know. It says it's loading. Mine. Hopefully it's not yet. Okay, here we go.
Oh, it says that it's live on here.
Yeah, now it's live. Okay, hi. My name is Fran or Frank. I use they, them, their pronouns. This is our show. Me and Melora do our little show. We talk about things. We talk about feminism. We talk about cool stuff. I am 18 and queer and an activist, a leftist, and an artist. What about you, Melora?
Well, since my name has already been said, I guess I don't need any introduction like that, but Melora is the name. I'm 17. I am a person of color. I'm an activist and I'm a musician. That's about it. Yeah. Sorry that it wasn't more exciting than it needed to.
So, oh no, that was great, Melora. So today we are going to be talking about icons. I'm going to be sharing a little presentation. I'll just start sharing my screen. We'll jump right into
wake up.
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
I know, I'm so tired. Okay.
I want to have my break. The break is here. Yay.
Okay. Oh, it logged me out.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Got my email up there and everything. Nobody send me mean emails. That's not supposed to be there. Oh, why would it go away? I don't know why it logged me out. This is so annoying. Okay. It's not doing anything. It won't load. Anyway, okay, I'll just stop sharing my screen and then where am I?
I don't know.
What is happening? It's just, okay, well now it's not working. Well, I try to keep everything really organized and nice and professional, but never really works out. Oh, it logged me out. Okay. Okay, well, so we'll just start talking about it, I guess. So my presentation is about queer icons and what that means, what it represents, what that okay. I don't know why won't it okay, sorry. And yeah. Sorry, I'll have to just, I don't know why it's saying my password isn't right. This is weird. Okay.
Oh no.
Wow. Oh. Okay, now it's deciding to work. Okay. So here it is. We're getting it together. Okay. Oh, hi Ed. Eddie. She's okay. A dog just came in. Ah, that's hot. And now she's putting her face in a space heater.
Oh no.
She's not very smart sometimes. Okay, I have it open now. Finally. Okay. Eddie immediately tried to put her head in the space heater. Okay, sharing screen now. And then I'm gonna
This is so cute.
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's right, Canva.
Yeah, I love Canva. And now it just won't present. So this is so fun. I love when it does this.
It's okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, here we go. So here is the presentation. We're talking about queer icons. And so I just wanted to preface this with saying, like, all of these people, pretty much all of them, all but like a few, are like known to be bad people. And I wanted to talk more about that towards the end, but I thought that it was good. It was important to preface it. Like, these are not great people, but they're icons. And like exploring the idea of like, what is an icon? Like,
Yeah.
it's not, they are characters in our brains, you know. They're not really the people that I don't know. I'll explain that more later. But anyway, here's a presentation. I'm going to be talking about some specific people, and I chose people that I personally find interesting, but that are also just like general queer icons. But there's definitely more. And there's a couple really great sources that I wanted to share that I used to make this. There's one, I know Wikipedia is like whatever, but the Wikipedia article about gay icons is like super interesting and in-depth, and it goes through historical queer icons, pop culture icons, and it goes like very early on into now, and it's like really in depth and has a lot of important people who I didn't recognize, because they were like, it went all the way back in time, and I thought it was really interesting, and it had some interesting information. So I recommend looking at that for anybody who's interested in this subject. And I also have lots of cool articles and letters and, you know, first person accounts and stuff. So if anybody's ever interested in learning anything more about queer history, queer icons, queer anything, feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to me on Instagram, which my username is @piranha_queen, or you can, I mean, y'all just saw my email. So there's that. I have lots of interesting facts and information. So I'm not like an expert or anything, but yeah. Okay, I've slide for too long. So I just want to say hi, everybody. And a reminder that, you know, things aren't great right now, but that, you know, people care about you, and that you are loved, even if it doesn't feel like that right now. And yeah, times are kind of rough right now. Sorry, I'm trying to open my second. Okay. Yeah. So what is an icon? I kind of went over this a little bit already, but an icon is, you know, somebody that we look up to. The like Wikipedia definition of a gay icon is a public figure who is highly regarded and beloved by the LGBT and I'm gonna add Q plus community. They can either be part of the community or not part of the community. And I mean, there's some who are like outwardly homophobic, like a lot of the pop singers and stuff have been.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
and like, but we just love them. So, like, hold on, I'm trying to, so, yeah, like Diana Ross, I think is homophobic. I'm trying to, I'm doing like on the spot fact checking of my thoughts that are coming up. um, sorry. Barbara Streisand is maybe homophobic. She's also really racist and just crazy. And also she cloned her dog. And she's a gay icon. She cloned her dog. That she has 3 versions of the same dog. Like literal clones. Anyway.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay. So the first queer icon that I wanted to talk about is Frida Kahlo. A lot of people know that Frida is queer. Frida is like one of the most famous artists of all time, but people don't know that she is very queer. She was a communist, and these are things that people are like, shh, we're gonna ignore that part. So in this first photo, she's with somebody who she had allegedly had an affair with. They're all allegedly, but it's like pretty clear that she did.
Yeah.
Where they talk about it, and like, but historians are like,
yeah. Isn't it also alleged that like she had an affair with Josephine Baker?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah.
That one, I'm gonna, that's Josephine Baker. And that one is really like, because that one, like, they just met once.
Yeah.
And they both happen to be bisexual. So people were like, so that means that they sex. Like, but I would like to believe that they had an affair because I love Josephine Baker and Frida Kahlo, and I think that would be very interesting.
Yeah, I love them both too.
And also, the photos that people show of Frida most often are photos where, like in this last photo, where she has like hair bows in, long skirts, very effeminate clothing, but there was a long period in her life where she wore very militarized clothing and had like short hair or just kept her hair very straight and embraced masculinity a lot. There was, when she was a teenager, she would wear suits, and like that, she was very gender non-conforming, and yeah. As you can see in this painting by her in the middle, she's like sitting with like her hair all cut off and wearing a suit. And art critic people have pointed out that she's holding the scissors at her groin, but they believe that was a threat towards her husband Diego Rivera, which either way, regardless of if this is a gesture at her being trans or a threat at her shitty husband, either way I like it. So I just okay. So she also had hairless dogs, a pet fawn, spider monkeys, a parrot, and an eagle, which I think is really cool. She was brought to her very first art show in an ambulance. She had, like we talked about, maybe had an affair with Josephine Baker. She I'm gonna say she definitely had an affair with the artist Georgia O'Keeffe, but
I love Georgia O'Keeffe.
I don't know about that. But like, there's very flirtatious letters. Here
I love Georgia O'Keeffe.
It says Georgia. Was wonderful to hear your voice again every day since I called you and many times before months ago. I wanted to write you a letter. I wrote you many, but every one seemed more stupid and empty, and I tore them up. I can't write in English all that I would like to tell, especially to you. I am sending this one because I promised it to you. I felt terrible when Sybil Brown told me that you were sick, and I still don't know what is the matter with you. Please, Georgia dear, if you can't write, ask Stieglitz to do it for you, and let me know how are you feeling, will you? I'll be in Detroit 2 more weeks. I would like to tell you everything that happened to me since the last time we saw each other, but most of them are sad, and you mustn't know sad things now. After all, I shouldn't complain because I have been happy in many ways, though. Diego is good to me, and you can't imagine how happy he has been working on the frescoes here. I have been painting a little too, and that helped. I thought of you a lot, and I never forgot your wonderful hands and the color of your eyes. I will see you soon. I am sure that in New York, I will be much happier. If you still in the hospital when I come back, I will bring you flowers, but it is so difficult to find the ones I would like for you. I would be so happy if you could write me even 2 words. I like you very much, Georgia. From Frida. So that's pretty gay. I don't know. Pretty gay. I might be biased, but sounds kind of gay to me. She also had an affair with the communist scholar Trotsky.
Yeah.
Like, I somehow didn't know that, and I was like, what? And it wasn't like just a one-time thing. It was a whole decade. And I was mind blown.
Yeah. Have you seen the biopic with Salma Hayek?
Mm-mm.
You should watch it. It's just called Frida.
Okay, I will.
It's good.
The like movie?
Yeah.
They like the fictional movie, or not fictional, but it's like based on her story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have seen that actually. Okay.
It's really good.
So, next person. Also, I love this picture right here where she has the communist symbol on her chest. Sorry, I don't know what just happened. I thought this was really cool. Anyway, I thought all those. Oh, how many did I? Okay, sorry. Spoilers! Ah! Oh God! What? Oh my God! I don't know what y'all saw.
We saw a lot.
Okay.
We saw much.
Next is Josephine Baker. I obviously went Frida, and then all the people that Frida had affairs with. So Josephine Baker, she had a really difficult life. She lived in America and France. She did basically everything. She's like just an incredible person. She was an actress, a writer. She gave speeches, which I'll talk about later. She was a dancer, a singer, like did literally everything. She was a spy. We'll get into that. And she was also very bisexual. Not out at the time, but one of her 12 kids was like, yeah, no, my mom was definitely gay. She was very queer. I mean, there's her with Frida in the first picture. I don't know. So the other thing about the like one time that they met that people like to think they had an affair is at the time Frida was really sick. So that also makes it less likely. But who knows? it seems unlikely, but regardless, they're both like super cool, powerful, bisexual women of color. So like we love them. So Josephine Baker gave speeches and wrote articles about civil rights and stood beside Martin Luther King at the March on Washington, which I was like, what?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Huh?
Interesting.
He's very like low key about all the things that she was doing, but
I
luckily
can tell.
it was pretty easy. Was going back and forth between America and France. So she lived most of her time in France because France was like slightly more accepting and less racist.
Yeah.
And once she got famous there, she was very famous and very adored. So she did not face much racism there. But when she would come back to America, like the KKK would call her, threatening her, and like all of this really bad stuff would happen. But she still would come back to give speeches and do things like that. This is like she was a spy for the Allied forces in World War II, and she would smuggle secrets in invisible ink on her music sheets when she was performing. Wow, how cool is that?
I think I knew that.
That is so cool. And also, there's a rumor that she would like hide photos of German military, like the different things that they had, the bombs and things like that. She would take photos of them and hide them in her underwear. But I think that's probably made up. But I like it. It's interesting. I'm gonna say it's real. It's probably not, but I'm gonna say it is. And she was also, she was bisexual. I already said that. And like had a lot of relationships with lots of different people. And so she had 12 children who she adopted. And they lived in like a castle. But then at some point she like couldn't pay rent. And then a princess at the time like started paying for her apartment, and they were like really close friends. So I'm wondering if there's some gay stuff there. They're like really close friends.
Yeah. That's interesting, actually.
Yeah. And yeah, she had 12 kids. She called them the Rainbow Tribe, which whatever. Anyway, I mean, the weird thing is one of her husbands, her last husband, was most likely gay. And one of her kids ended up being gay. But she didn't accept her kid.
What?
Which, I know. I don't know. There wasn't a lot of information about it. It said that he has forgiven her since, and he's done like different like presentations places. Like there really wasn't a lot of information because it was just like he was like, yeah, she didn't accept me, and then she did. And so it doesn't really go much in detail. So it could be that the reason that she didn't accept him was just that she didn't want him to live that life, because at the time it was very dangerous. And she was queer herself, so it's possible that she was just worried about him and what could happen. I mean, it said that he had gotten caught, so maybe she was just mad about that. Like, I don't know. But also, oh no, she sent him to live with his father, the gay one, the one who we think is gay. He might be gay. I'm pretty sure he's gay. I read multiple places that he was gay, but then I couldn't find like more information about that. But it's just very strange. It was just all very strange. Oh, and the son who shared that she was bisexual, he said that she has, so there's a song, it's in French, but translated, the title is I Have Two Loves. And people were like, oh, it's about France and America. And he was like, it's not about France and America. It's about women and men. She was also barred entry from the US for 10 years because they said that she was a communist sympathizer, which, like, she was friends with Frida. So probably, if not just a communist. She also had a lot of animals. She also had a ton of dogs, a snake, a chimp, a goat, a pig, and a cheetah.
Yeah.
A cheetah. She had a pet cheetah. All right, next person. Is it not gonna go? Hello? Oh, again, isn't it? Okay, here's Georgia O'Keeffe. Look at this cool photo. She's got like a whole cow.
I love Georgia O'Keeffe.
Me too. So as you can, she's very queer, very queer. She had a ranch which I visited, which was a lot less fun than I thought it would be. I thought I was going to get to see some of her art. No, you have to pay a bunch of money to see her art. Like, because you have to take like classes and stuff. I don't know. It's weird, but she had a ranch, and I mean, just look at her. She's just so cool. And her ranch is called the Ghost Ranch. She is just so cool and was very gay. And people will try to say that she's not gay, but she's gay. And she also was definitely having a relationship with Frida, and nobody can convince me otherwise. So a lot of the reason why people are like, oh yeah, she's definitely gay is because, as you can see from the painting in the middle, that flower looks very much like a vagina. And all of her paintings are like these zoomed in flowers that all look like anatomy. And I mean, there's not much to say about it. Like, she's just really cool, and she was really old and like proud about being old, proud about her. And one of her husbands was also most likely gay. So, I mean, and I also couldn't, like, I tried so hard to find information about certain relationships, but she like the other people tried to keep those under wraps, and nobody really said much about it after her death. Like, nobody like came out and was like, oh yeah, she did this and she did that, which I actually appreciate, because I feel like it's like, after somebody dies, like, it's not really fair to out them. Like a lot of famous people get outed after their death, and I think that's not good. But lots of historians have been like, yeah. But I think more likely than being a lesbian, I think she was most likely bisexual, because she did have a long-term relationship with another artist, a photographer, Alfred Stieglitz. And I've read some of their letters. They're not super romantic, but they had like, I think it was 800 pages of letters. So I didn't read all of them. Wow. So, I mean, but also, like, I don't know, who knows? Yeah, she never had children. She married, and I don't know, she was a cool artist. She painted the flowers, and she painted bones, and she painted all of these like landscapes and stuff. And she also made pottery, which people don't really that's not what she's known for. She's known for these flowers.
Yeah.
Okay. Next. So this is Joan of Arc, and this.
Yes.
So this is like a queer icon for everyone. Like the lesbians love Joan of Arc, the trans people love Joan of Arc. Everybody loves Joan of Arc. The gays love Joan of Arc. So because, I mean, Joan of Arc, like really long time ago, she was, sorry, she like, it doesn't, like, the 1400s ish.
Yeah.
So, huh?
No, I'm just saying around there. Yeah.
Yeah, so she was born in, this says January 6th, 1412. And she died when she was 19, unfortunately. But definitely, like, in those 19 years, got up to a lot of business. She, when she was, I believe, 17, I have it written here. I don't know. Oh, at age 18, she helped, oh no, this is a different thing. So she, at 17, showed up to the king's house, I think, his castle. She had her hair cut really short and was like, I want to be a knight. And so he fitted her for a knight outfit, gave her a sick sword, like really, really old sword, and gave her a whole army of like 5,000 men, I think. And they all just had, I don't know. This is like literally how it was written, that she just showed up and then got an army. There's obviously something must have been lost, but like, that's how it was written. It's all very confusing because one, it happened so long ago and there wasn't like a lot of recording of things. And whatever was recorded got like burned or destroyed in some way. But like, it's also been translated like a bajillion times. But anyway, so Joan of Arc, like, was she gay? Was she trans? Was she what? Like, whatever. Like, my opinion is that she was, well, I guess I should say they, but everybody calls Joan of Arc she. So I'll just say they from now on. My guess is that they were trans. They were also most likely mentally ill, because they said that they would frequently, it's their family said that it was like 2 to 3 times a week that they would have these like visions and hear these voices that would tell them that they needed to dress up like a man and that they needed to go to war. And voices and visions don't necessarily I am trans and I did not find out I was trans from visions or voices. But I'm not saying that Joan of Arc isn't trans. That's the best I can do. So Joan of Arc, it says the saints and angels told them to cut their hair off, put on men's clothes, and go to war. And at age 18, they helped crown a king. And at 19, they were killed by the church, which later made them a saint, the same church. And the crime that they were actually killed for was not anything about the things that they had done in battle. It was all about them dressing in men's clothes. And they were executed on May 30th, 1431. There's also dispute over whether Joan of Arc had gay relationships, because when they would stay at inns and stuff like that. So in the 15th century, there was not a lot of beds. This is what the historians are like, no, she's not gay. There just wasn't enough beds. Because I guess there was not enough beds, and like people would frequently share beds, but she always refused to share a bed with any men, even when when they were presenting as a man. They would only share beds with women.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much that's the only thing, that because there wouldn't be recording of anything else happening unless it was caught. So like that's one of those difficult things. But they also like refused to ever have a relationship with a man. And so I don't know, those are all the details that are out there. I just think they're super cool. Like look at these paintings. Anyway, I really want to recreate one of Joan of Arc's outfits and stuff. But anyway, that's a plan of mine. It's not working. Okay, next we got Marsha P Johnson. So, Marsha P Johnson. Here she is with Sylvia Rivera. I'm not going to go too in depth on this one. We have 5 minutes. Marsha P Johnson, I'll talk. I have a whole queer history presentation to do that I already have ready. I'm very excited. But Stonewall riots, for people who don't know, I won't go too in depth again, but she was one of the people who is considered one of the first people to have thrown one of the they say bricks, they say bottles, they say a lot of different things, but regardless, one of the first people to start the riots against the mistreatment from police of the trans women of color who went to the Stonewall Bar because police have not ever been allies to trans women of color. And anyway, Marsha P Johnson, another like just, Renaissance person, like just did absolutely everything. She was a drag queen, a performer, a singer, and people like went wild for her singing, even though it was terrible, like really bad. But like she just had this big personality. Like all of these people, I think that's what makes an icon. Like she just has this big personality. Like when you see a drawing or a piece of art of Marsha P Johnson, you know it's Marsha P Johnson because she's so like it's just Marsha P Johnson. Like she's just, I don't know. I don't know. She's like Joan of Arc. She's like, I think like saints, icons are like, she's the icon or the saint of, the riots, because there were so many people involved, but like she's the face and the person that people think of the most. And I think that's what a lot of these icons are. I just talked for so long. Okay. Next. So here quickly, I wanted to talk about straight gay icons. So a very large portion of gay and queer icons are straight women. So quickly going over these people. So the first one is Tammy Faye Baker, or Mesner. She was a TV Christian lady. And like just she was known for like just she had like really long, really just like so much mascara on her eyes, and they were just like, and she just did like really dramatic makeup. Here she is with the like very famous drag queen who is also an icon, Bunny, Lady Bunny. And that photo is just so funny to me because their height difference. So these two first photos are Tammy Faye Baker or Mesner. And she was just like a TV Christian lady, but like a lot of gay people growing up saw her on TV and thought she was really cool. And so she became this icon. And she also like has embraced the queer community since then because so many gay people just like loved her. And she's like said that she loves them so much. And one quote that I read from her basically said that when everybody else left her, that the gay community was still there for her. Also, she had a whole house in her backyard, a air-conditioned house for her dog, which I thought was so funny. We got Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton has also always supported the gays. She's wonderful. I love Dolly Parton with all of my heart. I gotta hurry up. Okay, this is Judy Garland. Judy Garland is the gay icon. Like throughout time, the gay icon. She has done a ton for the gay community, and I actually went to her grave at the Hollywood cemetery, and she is buried with a lot of gay men who died of AIDS because she was a huge supporter of them during the end of their lives. Okay, I'm trying to hurry. Okay, okay. Honorable mentions. I got David Bowie, Prince, and Boy George. All three of these were men who were queer in some way. Prince was very straight, and like, but he still challenged masculinity, and so for that he's still like a queer icon and gave people an opportunity to explore their gender identity more. He wrote songs about making out with ladies and was still like could still wear flowy like long sleeved shirts and dress like this, which I think is really cool. And he also was a person of color, so it was like a person of color who was challenging gender norms and was also like incredibly famous, which is like really important for kids to see somebody who looks like them and who isn't and who is like open with their gender and stuff. Also, I don't know about Prince, but Boy George and David Bowie did some awful things. I don't like them as people. I'm putting that out there. Don't like them as people. But they were two also very big musicians who people looked up to and challenged gender norms. And I think that those are very important things for kids to see. I remember seeing all of these people as a kid, and I'm, 18. People who are much older than me also saw these people when they were kids, and it was the first time that they had ever been able to see people who were like queer. Like, I mean, they're not like, I mean, they are. David Bowie and Boy George are, but like they weren't out, but they're like, I mean queer in the sense of gender performance. Okay, I'm trying to hurry it up here. I guess we can go a little bit over since we started 13 minutes late, but anyway. So discussion time. Feel free, everyone who's watching, to comment questions, ideas, your favorite icons in the chat. There were so many icons that I really wanted to talk to, but I just didn't have the time to like go as in depth as I would have liked to. So I would love to hear all of your ideas. And I also have a lot of people who I couldn't talk about because I have them in my other presentation. So I'm really excited to do that presentation as well. So these are the three discussion starters that I wanted to, I don't know why those two say recap, ignore that. It's not supposed to say recap, it's supposed to say question. Discussion starters, okay, so the first question, why are so many of our icons bad people? What makes an icon? Yeah, I'm interested to hear other people's thoughts because I already talked about this a little bit. Yep, Elton John. We got Elton John in the chat. I don't know if you guys can see the chat on my screen, on my shared screen. But yeah, historians are always like they were best friends, but really they were lesbians. That's like they were really close friends. They slept in the same bed, and they also never got married, and they also like some other really interesting examples of queer people in history that I always find it interesting, like the queer people in history who people all know but don't realize that they were queer. Like, so Abraham Lincoln was very likely very gay. Also owned slaves, so we don't like him, but but also gay. So we don't like him, but just a fun fact, he's probably gay. And then also another president, I talked about him in my other presentation, so I won't, but James, no. Oh yeah. James Buchanan, he was the 15th president.
Oh, James Buchanan.
Thank you. Buchanan. Listen, I'm not the brightest.
Oh.
Buchanan. Elton John's great. What else we got, people? You got anything, Melora? Why do you think icons are always bad people?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I know that there are a lot of people who are icons that end up like I don't know, like after they've become an icon, they end up doing things that are like terrible. But then people still like them. I mean, like, I don't know, like for example, I know that Ariana Grande is like one. Not that she's done anything bad, but on occasion she does like blackfish a bit.
Oh yeah.
And then there's also the whole thing where what's that festival called again? I Coachella, yeah. For a second I almost said Woodstock, and I was like, no, that's not the right era at all. I don't know why. And then but I know that was a big whatever because, or like a big deal because the owner of Coachella is like homophobic and like supports different anti-LGBTQ plus. Yeah, like okay. Yeah, like yeah. So yeah, people were like a bit upset about the fact that she performed there, but I know that I don't know. I think that like whenever you like someone a lot and they're very iconic, it's very easy to excuse like their bad actions.
Right.
Because of the fact that they have done this or done that for like this particular community, or they've shown support for whatever. But like, you know, if they blackfish, oh well, like, you know, if they say something that's a bit oh well. You know, because they're so beloved by people. But
I really like what Tina said in the chat. She said, icons are problematic because they are human first and susceptible to all the same human failings as all humans. I would add living under the duress of being closeted and having homosexuality perceived as criminal led to a lot of questionable behavior. I agree with that. There was a lot in like early history, like a lot of like, I mean, for instance, with the first person we talked about, Frida, she had a lot of relationships with people much younger than her. She also but like on the other side of that had a lot like from her very first relationships were when she was underage with adults who she said were traumatic. So like there's like histories of trauma within that and like those cycles. I think that icons are often bad people because one, they have power, and I think a lot of people who, it's a chicken or the egg situation. Like, are they attracted to having power, and that's why they end up abusing their power, or do they already have, or do they just come into power and then abuse that power because they got the power? You know what I mean? Sorry, that was phrased weirdly, but it's like, did they get the power first and become bad, or did they want the power because they were bad? I mean, bad is, I don't like to call people bad because but they did really bad things. So I'm gonna say whatever. I'm simplifying, but anyway. So, and I think that what makes an icon is that they're seen as a character. An icon is literally like a simplified picture, you know? And so it's like they are these simplified, we see them as these, like, for instance, the last three that I talked about, nope, why'd it go the wrong way? The last, no, the ones before that, these people, like all of these icons, the people that are seen as queer icons are people with very big, like, I mean, Dolly Parton, everybody knows Dolly Parton, blonde, like her, like, that's who she is. She's this like dumb blonde, like she's this caricature of a person. She's just this big, lively angel from heaven. I love Dolly Parton. She's just perfect. Like, she's just like this big caricature. And same thing with Tammy Faye. She's just like, she's got this very distinct makeup. She always has the same makeup. She has her hair in a certain way. She's a character. Like, they're Halloween costumes, essentially. Like, you can dress up as Dolly Parton or Tammy Faye Baker and be recognized as them. And somebody who is like, and I think that's what makes an icon, is like, I feel like all of these people, you could dress up like them, you know, and people would be like, oh, Joan of Arc. Oh, I guess maybe not George O'Keeffe, but maybe if you were really specific about it, Josephine Baker, Frida Kahlo, like, all of these are like people that are like, oh, that person, because they're just like exaggerated. And I think that's what it just, why is it being so difficult? So we got like 2 more minutes. I'll bring up the other 2 conversation topics quickly, and then so the first one is, why are so many queer icons religious figures? Which adding to that a little bit more, I'm trying to speed this up, but there's people like Saint Sebastian. There's people, people love the Virgin Mary. I have a Virgin Mary t-shirt, like, and I'm not Christian. And I think that that's a really interesting question for people to ask themselves, because we don't have time to talk about it. What things do these icons often have in common? Which I kind of just answered. I guess why not? Let's just talk about it. Why are so many queer icons religious figures? What do y'all think? I'll say that the reason I think it is because of the relationship between the strained relationship between queer people and religion. And I think that people, and I mean, nuns are like a symbol in the queer community. Like, we have the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence and things like that like use nun imagery. Like, I think that religious imagery is everywhere, and so it's easy to use that as a tool to we live in a Christian country. Like, it's very predominantly Christian, so I think it's very easy to use that to use the shock of changing that to get like the attention of people, and be able to use that to subject different things like gender and sexuality. So that's my thoughts on that. So if anybody else has anything, say it now. What do you think, Melora?
I don't know. I think that, like, I like with religious figures, I think that something like, it's also very shocking when like super Christian people like are openly supportive of like the LGBTQ plus community, because it's so widely accepted that Christians are just homophobic, which in general, most are. I've had experience with many, but like obviously, but like I think that's also why like some people like maybe have like, you know, religious figures as queer icons. And there are also like people in the LGBTQ plus community who are Christian as well, you know, like who do go to church and like who do that stuff as well. So I think that in a way, I don't know, maybe it's like just say that like the LGBTQ plus community is not the enemy. I don't know, like, you know, because like many people some people who are Christian do like obviously hate the LGBTQ plus community and they hate gay people because they believe that it's an abomination, you know, but that's not the case.
Taryn said something good in the chat, and I think we'll end on this. He said, I think a lot of queer people experience trauma through religion, and it's kind of a coping mechanism to be able to take back these characters and kind of create a queer narrative for them.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I can see that.
Think we can end with that. I think that all of this is escapism, and that's why like we can like a lot of the time the bad things are ignored because we don't see them as real people. So that's all I have. Thank you everyone for watching. You can follow us on Instagram at Core Press is the thing that we do this through. We do it through Core Press. Our opinions are not Core Press's. We just do this through Core Press. And so you can follow us at Core Press, or you can follow our Instagram. My Instagram is at Piranha_Queen. Melora
at Drama_King with 5 G's.
And that's all, everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye.